The truth that men don't hear. There is a profound silence in the intimate lives of many couples. A silence that is not made of peace but of swallowed words, of kept desires, of truths never spoken. Women often carry secrets in intimacy that they do not reveal out of fear, shame, or simple lack of trust. They prefer to remain silent rather than ask. They prefer to endure rather than risk. And so, many men spend years believing they are giving everything, when in reality they are only offering a part of what could be. This is the point that few dare to face. It is not enough to be physically present. The body may be there, but the mind, absent. The act may happen, but the desire is not fulfilled. Because for a woman, intimacy is not just flesh. It is also emotion, atmosphere, attention. And if you ignore this, you can spend decades by someone's side without ever really knowing them completely. We live in a culture that pushes the responsibility of knowing everything onto men, as if upon reaching maturity, he already had absolute mastery of the woman's body, as if it were natural to know how to satisfy without ever having learned. This is a lie that generates frustration on both sides. She pretends to be satisfied, he believes he is on the right track, and the two get used to a lukewarm intimacy. But here, in this space, we speak of clarity, not illusions. Today we are going to reveal 6 secrets that many women hide, not because they don't want you to know, but because they are afraid to expose themselves. And these secrets can transform your intimate life if you have the courage to listen. Before continuing, I want you to do something simple. Write in the comments your age and the city or country from which you are watching. I want to know who I'm talking to. Young men may not understand the depth of what I am going to say, but mature men, who already know the weight of silence inside a room, will recognize the importance. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do it now. Here we don't talk about cheap tricks, nor empty promises. Here we talk about the truth that many avoid. The truth that may be uncomfortable, but that sets you free. Get ready. Because these 6 secrets are not just techniques. They are codes of presence, discipline, and connection. And only those who have the courage to face the truth can become unforgettable. The myth of male experience. There is a common belief among men that age in itself brings sexual wisdom. I've lived a lot. I already know what it's like. But time guarantees nothing. Decades can pass. And yet, many remain trapped in the same limitations, repeating the same gestures, believing that quantity is synonymous with quality. The myth of male experience destroys because it creates arrogance. The man believes he already knows enough, and when he believes that, he stops listening, he stops observing, he stops learning, and that is the fatal mistake. Because the woman changes, her body changes, her mind changes, her desire changes. What satisfied her at 20 may not be what satisfies her at 40. What thrilled her in the beginning may not have the same impact years later. The man who does not learn at each encounter is the man who becomes predictable. It must be said without fear. Many women do not say what they want because they do not believe that the man would have the humility to listen. They fear judgment. They fear appearing too demanding. They fear that their partner will confuse vulnerability with criticism. So they remain silent. And when they remain silent, desire dies in silence. The true mature man is not the one who boasts of knowing everything. It is the one who has the courage to ask, to observe, to experiment, to adapt. He understands that experience is not repeating, but reinventing, that each night is new, that each gesture can be improved. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is foolish for a man to pride himself on what has already passed, for the time that has passed no longer belongs to him." This also applies to intimacy. What you did yesterday guarantees nothing today. What guarantees is your presence now, your willingness to listen, your discipline to learn. Reflect. How many times have you believed that you were giving everything, when in reality, she wanted something else? How many times have you confused silence with satisfaction? Perhaps it was not a lack of effort, but of perception. In the next segment, we will reveal the first of these silent secrets. The time before the time. What many men call a detail, but which for most women is what defines whether the night will be unforgettable or just another one. Secret 1. The time before the time. The first secret is so simple that it is ignored. They want more time before the time. What does that mean? It means that, for most women, intimacy does not begin with penetration. It begins with the look, the touch, the slow breathing, the prolonged kiss. It begins when you show that you are not in a hurry, that you are not rushing to the end, but willing to appreciate every moment of the journey. Many men see foreplay as a quick obligation, almost a warm-up before what really matters. This is a limited and childish view. For the woman, this before is often the center of the experience. It is there that she relaxes, that she surrenders, that she opens space to feel true pleasure. Ignoring this is like trying to light a fire without preparing the wood. And here is the detail. For the mature woman, time is even more important. Her body needs more calm, more gradual stimulation, more patience. Haste, in these cases, not only hinders, it can even hurt. The man who knows how to prolong the before proves something valuable, that he is there to enjoy, not just to satisfy himself. This secret is not just physical, it is also emotional. It is during this initial time that you can say words that awaken, praise in a sincere way, show desire without vulgarity. It is in the slower kiss, in the hand that travels slowly, in the touch that respects her rhythm. Each gesture is a message. I'm not in a hurry. I want all of you. Reflect. How many times have you skipped this step thinking you were shortening the path, when in reality you were destroying the chance to make it memorable? The time before the time is, in essence, a discipline training. It is resisting anxiety. It is learning to master haste. It is transforming minutes into eternity. Secret 2. The power of the word. The second secret is that many women desire clear commands, firm words, leadership in the voice, but rarely admit it. This is because, in public, society still expects the woman to be the one who asks, the one who pleads, the one who needs. In private, however, most want to feel the strength of the male word. It's not about speaking loudly or shouting. It's not violence, it's firmness. It is the difference between the man who asks insecurely and the man who leads with clarity. It is when you look her in the eyes and say, without hesitation, "Come here." Or when you guide the movement with a direct whisper, showing that you know what you want. For many women, this type of verbal leadership is exciting because it conveys security. It shows that you are not lost, that you are not groping, but that you know how to lead. It's like dancing. If both try to lead, it becomes confusion. But when one leads firmly and the other trusts, the movement flows. The mature man has an advantage here. Because he no longer fears judgment so much, he no longer needs to apologize for every gesture. He knows how to use his voice calmly. He knows how to dose the intensity. He knows how to transform simple words into subtle orders. And these orders, far from being authoritarian, sound like irresistible invitations. Many men err because they remain silent all the time. Silence has its place, but the total absence of words can seem like detachment. The woman gets lost without clear signals. The verbal command, when used wisely, is a bridge between bodies. Ask yourself, have you used the word as a weapon of connection, or have you hidden behind silence? Perhaps you are losing one of the most powerful tools of intimacy. The secret of the word is in leading without crushing, in guiding without forcing, in showing firmly that you know where to go. This is what many secretly desire, but are afraid to ask for. Secret 3. Physical dominance without violence. There is a silent desire that many women carry, but rarely reveal. The desire to feel dominance. Not violent dominance, not brutal imposition, but the feeling of being with a man who knows how to lead physically, who transmits strength, but also security. This can be expressed in simple gestures, holding her waist firmly at the right moment, guiding her face with your hand for a deep kiss, pressing her body lightly against yours to show presence. These are subtle signs that say, I am here, I take the lead, you can relax. The problem is that many men confuse dominance with aggression. They think they need to be harsh, rough, almost hostile. This is not the way. True dominance is firmness with care. It is when she feels that you could squeeze, but choose only to hold. It is when she realizes that your strength is controlled, that nothing there is excessive. This is the difference between the insecure man and the mature man. The insecure either does not touch for fear of being invasive, or exaggerates, trying to compensate. The mature knows the value of measure. He does not need to impose himself, because his own posture already commands respect. For many women, this physical conduction is highly exciting, because it gives the feeling that they don't need to decide everything, that they can just surrender. And this surrender, when made to a man who conveys confidence, generates deeper pleasure than any mechanical technique. Reflect, have you shown dominance at the right moment, or have you oscillated between absence and excess? The answer can define the way she remembers you. The secret here is simple, but powerful. Be firm, but be careful. The strength that does not hurt is the strength that conquers. Secret 4. Declared desire and appreciation. The fourth secret is that women want to hear, clearly, how much they are desired. Not only through gestures, but through words and attitudes that make appreciation explicit. Many men believe that silence is enough. They think that, by being there, they are already demonstrating everything. But the truth is that for many women, silence sounds like coldness. They want to feel that they are admired, that they awaken desire, that they are seen as unique. This can be done in simple ways. A sincere compliment, said at the right moment. A short phrase that demonstrates desire. Even a look accompanied by direct words. I want you now. These small declarations do not diminish the man. On the contrary, they show security. The mistake is in exaggeration. When the compliment becomes flattery, when the words become forced, the effect is the opposite. True appreciation does not need frills. It needs sincerity. A short but firm phrase has more impact than rehearsed paragraphs. For the mature woman, this detail is even more valuable. She wants to feel chosen, even after years of living together. She wants to realize that she still awakens desire, that she continues to be admired. When she does not receive this type of affirmation, she begins to believe that she has lost value, and this feeling can slowly corrode any relationship. The mature man understands that declaring desire does not diminish him. On the contrary, it increases his presence. It shows that he is not afraid to expose feelings, that he is not afraid to be vulnerable, that he is secure enough to praise without seeming submissive. Ask yourself, have you told her how much you desire her, or have you let silence kill that fire little by little? Sometimes a single phrase can rekindle a dormant flame. This is the secret. Declared desire is fuel. It is living proof that she is not just by your side. She is being seen, admired, chosen. Secret 5. The power of hands and mouth. There is a secret that many men ignore, and therefore fail without realizing it. Most women do not achieve true pleasure only through penetration. The female body is vast, full of sensitive points, and many of these points are outside the obvious. This is where hands and mouth come in as weapons of connection and desire. For many women, touch is the most powerful language. Hands can explore curves, caress slowly, hold firmly in key moments. It's not just about movement, it's about intention. A hand that touches calmly communicates care. A hand that holds firmly communicates desire. The secret is in alternating. Softness and firmness, affection and intensity, always with awareness. And the mouth? It is even more essential. Long, lingering kisses in places that are not limited to her mouth. Neck, nape, shoulders, back, thighs, each region awakens different reactions. The man who learns to explore with his mouth creates a trail of desire that prepares her body for something much bigger. The mistake of many men is believing that sex begins and ends in a single region. It's not like that. The woman wants to be explored like a map, like a territory full of nuances. The one who limits himself to the obvious transmits laziness, transmits haste, transmits lack of imagination. The mature man has an advantage here, because he has already learned throughout his life that patience is a virtue. He doesn't need to rush. He can dedicate entire minutes to exploring a single detail. And that detail can be more striking than hours of intensity. Ask yourself, have you used your hands and mouth as conscious tools? Or have you let everything be limited to the basics? Perhaps the key that was missing is precisely in what you valued the least. This secret teaches a profound truth. To truly satisfy, it is necessary to explore beyond the obvious. Secret 6. Total presence, absence of distractions. The last secret is perhaps the most important of all, because it involves the essence of intimacy, being present. Many women carry a silent frustration. They realize that the man is there physically, but not with his whole body. His mind is somewhere else, worried, anxious, distracted, and that destroys the mood. The woman wants to feel that at that moment, you are entirely with her, that there is no cell phone, no worries, no rush, only her body, her breathing, her surrender. This type of presence is rare, but when it happens, it completely transforms the experience. It's not just about looking into her eyes. It's also about noticing details, the breathing that accelerates, the shiver on the skin, the involuntary gesture. It's about listening to her body without her having to say anything. This attention creates trust, and trust opens the way to deep pleasure. Many men err because they believe that presence is just being there. But presence is much more. It is being with a calm mind, with the whole body, with an open heart. It is not rushing. It is not getting lost in external thoughts. It is not letting anxiety steal the moment. For the mature man, this is a natural advantage, because he has already learned that haste leads nowhere. He has already understood that silence is powerful. He already knows that what remains is not the time in minutes, but the intensity of the surrender. Total presence is, in fact, a Stoic code, being here and now, without worrying about the after. And this is the most powerful weapon you can have in intimacy, because it shows that you master not only the body, but also the mind. Reflect. Have you been truly present, or just going through the moment? This answer can be the divider between the common and the unforgettable. What unites all the secrets? Discipline and silent listening. After revealing these 6 secrets, perhaps you will notice a pattern. None of them speaks of miraculous techniques, acrobatics, or secrets hidden in expensive books. All have something in common. They ask for more discipline and more attention. The man who knows how to prolong the time before the time is not just giving foreplay. He is proving that he masters his own anxiety. The man who uses firm words is not just giving commands. He is transmitting leadership with clarity. The man who demonstrates physical dominance without violence is not just holding, he is communicating security. And so in all points. What they want are not tricks. It's presence, it's firmness, it's clarity. It is the discipline of not getting lost in the impulse, of not getting distracted in the middle of the act, of not ignoring signs that are before your eyes. Many men, upon hearing these secrets, may think, but this is difficult. It requires effort. And that is exactly what makes it special. If it were simple, anyone would do it. What separates the unforgettable man from the common man is the willingness to practice. It is the courage to observe. It is the humility to admit that you can learn every day. Think about it. How many men has she already met who rushed, who hurried, who were distracted, who never said anything beyond the basics? Many. But how many has she met who were really present, who knew how to lead calmly, who explored every detail with patience? Few. And that is what makes you unforgettable. You don't need to be perfect, but you need to be rare. What unites all the secrets, therefore, is simple, silent listening. Not just listening to words, but listening to the body, the gesture, the breathing. The man who knows how to listen without haste discovers secrets that she never needed to say. Closing. The Stoic Code of Desire. We have reached the end of this journey, and now you already know. What women most desire in intimacy is not in magazines, is not in superficial manuals, and often is not even in the words they say. It is hidden in the silences, in the gestures, in the needs that are rarely verbalized. The man who wants to be remembered needs to go beyond the obvious. He needs to cultivate presence, discipline, calm. He needs to master himself before trying to master someone. He needs to transform each encounter not into a passing explosion, but into a ritual of connection. This is more than sex. It is a philosophy of life. It is living the moment without haste, without distraction, without the arrogance of thinking that you already know everything. It is bringing to the room the same code that guided the ancient Stoics and Spartans: self-control, firmness, clarity. Because in the end, desire is not just physical. It is psychological. It is emotional. It is spiritual. A woman never forgets a man who knew how to be present, never forgets who made her feel desired, safe, admired, never forgets who mastered not only her body, but mainly his own body and his own mind. Now, it's your turn. Look at yourself and ask, have I lived as a common man or as a disciplined man? Have I rushed or have I led? Have I listened or just gone through the moment? If this message spoke to you, write the word discipline in the comments. May it be the symbol of the men who chose to live differently, who are not content with superficiality, who decided to transform even silence into a weapon. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now, because the next contents will deepen this path even further. A path of maturity, of purpose, and of presence. Stay on the screen, because the next video is already coming. And remember, the man who controls himself is never forgotten. See you there.